Alrighty guys, welcome back to another weapon tier list video for Hunt Showdown. Now, I had such a fun time making the shotgun tier list that I just had to make another one. So this time we will be checking out all the rifles in game and ranking them accordingly. Now, this is only default variants, so don't stress. I understand that some of the weapon variants outshine their defaults, but we'll get into that in another video. So same goes as the last video as well. As much as I try and stay logical, a lot of these rankings are personal preference. However, I do feel like most people will agree with certain places on this list. But yeah, don't forget to let me know down below in the comment section what you do think of the list and what you would change. But enough messing about. Let's sit back, relax, and jump on into the video. So just like in the previous tier list video, we'll be going over each rifle rankings, then explaining why I put them there in the respective tiers. So starting us off in the S tier list, we have the drilling rifle, the Lebel 1886, and the Mosin Nagant M1891 rifle. In the A tier list, I have the Winfield Centennial, the Vitelli 71, and the Springfield Krag. Moving now into the B tier list, I have put the Martini Henry IC1 and lastly the Sparks LRR, which is going to cause a bit of an uproar. And in the C tier list, I have the Berthier MLE 1892. And in the D tier list is the Winfield M1873, or as I call it, the Winfield non-C variant. And finally, in the F tier list, I've chosen the Winfield M1873C, or the Winfield C variant, and the the Nitro Express rifle. Just terrible. Now let's jump into each tier list, and we can take a look at why I put these rifles where I did. So I thought I'd switch it up a little bit this time and work my way from worst to best. So starting us off in the F tier list, I chose to put the Winfield C and the Nitro Express in here purely and simply because I find them to be some of the most underwhelming guns in the game. Which is strange because the Nitro should be way better than it currently is in my opinion. Like, the Nitro has easily one of the worst sights in game, making it ridiculously hard to see not only your targets but just in general. Not to mention the fact that its stats on it clearly don't add up with what we see in game, as it's meant to do 364 damage to center mass at 10 meters. So by that logic, I should be able to one tap any hunter no matter where you hit them on their body. But sadly, this just isn't the case. Mix that with its lack of ammunition and crazy expensive purchase cost leads me to put this rifle in the F tier list. As for the Winfield C, I feel like it suffers from what every compact round rifle suffers from, and that being the damage fall off after 20 meters, which is just crazy in my opinion. The long range capabilities of this weapon is null and void due to this, and I find the only way to make the Winfield C useful is slap levering on a Vandal and just run it close range. However, I feel as though at that point there are plenty other better weapon options I can utilize over the Winfield C, which led me to my decision to put it in the F tier list. Moving on now to the D tier list. I chose to put the Winfield non-C variant in here because although it suffers from the same flaws as the Winfield C, I really do like running around with this rifle and levering, unloading 16 bullets onto whatever poor sod I come across in game. So that's why it's not down with its brother in the F tier list, and purely and simply only that reason. So let's talk about why the Berthier MLE is in the C tier list, category, whatever you want to call it. I have a love-hate relationship with this gun. Now don't get me wrong, it's not a bad gun by any means. I just can't wrap my head around the 3-round magazine and only 9 shots in total. For like $20 extra, I can buy a Lebel, which in my opinion is far superior, has double the rounds, a 10-shot magazine, and doesn't eject all my bullets if I partially reload. I just can't wrap my head around why people would use this over other rifles, given these reload flaws and the lack of ammunition. Like, I could understand doing these things if the rifle had crazy damage or was gifted in another way, but making it a stock standard rifle that has these issues is why I've chosen to put it in the C tier. Okay, now things are heating up. Let's jump into the B tier list. I reckon this is where people will start disagreeing a bit more, as there are a few rifles in here I know a lot of people swear by, but anyways, the Martini Henry, Springfield 1866, and Sparks are in this list, and let's talk about why. So, the Martini Henry, Springfield, and Sparks are actually pretty good rifles. Well, in fact, I'll say really good rifles, especially Martini Henry and the Springfield, but I feel like both of these weapons suffer from the same problem, or at least for me anyways, and that is the one shot before reloading. Now, the Martini Henry and Springfield aren't as bad in this department because they reload 1 second faster than the Sparks. But for me, in the middle of a firefight, the last thing I want to be doing is constantly wasting time reloading my gun after every single shot. Now, again, this might not bother you, and that's fine, but for me, this is why I've chose to put them in the B tier list. Now let's talk about the A tier rifles. Vitelli 71, Winfield Centennial, and the Springfield Krag are all very similar rifles, all having high capacity magazines, high damage, and fast cycle time between shots, which is why I chose these bad boys to be in the A tier list. The Centennial and the Vitelli are great medium range weapons with heaps of spare ammo and have a great cycle time between shots, making them perfect for the 2-tap kill. And what I mean by that is the ability to shoot 2 shots in quick succession, killing the enemy hunter before he has a chance to heal off. The Krag is perfect for this too, but with it using long ammo, I find it way more useful for long range engagements whilst having that quicker cycle time between shots in comparison to other rifles in its category. Alrighty, it's finally time to talk about the best of the best rifles in game and why they belong in the S tier list. Drilling, Lebel 1886, and the Mosin Nagant M1891, that's a tongue twister, are hands down the best rifles in Hunt Showdown. The drilling rifle is amazing. Can't say enough about this rifle, should I say. A medium to long range weapon with a quick cycle time, a fast reload combined with the underbarrel shotgun make this the perfect all-round weapon, in my opinion. Whether you're wanting to fight at a distance or up close and personal, this rifle can cover all the bases. Whilst only being a medium ammo type weapon, this monster outdoes pretty much every gun in game in the right hands. And I will emphasize that, is that the right word? But like in the right hands. if you're shit, then obviously, it's not the right hands, but that's okay. I digress. Now, onto the Lebel and the Mosin. These rifles are very close in stats with small differences on either side, but both have incredible damage, fast cycle time, and you can't look past the Mosin's crazy fast reload, not to mention the satisfying animation for it. These are 2 of the most reliable rifles in game and definitely deserve the top spot on this list. So that's going to do it for this weapon tier list video for all the rifles in Hunt Showdown. I hope you all enjoyed. Don't forget to let me know down below whether or not you agreed with this list. And while you're down there, smash that like and subscribe button to help these videos go out to more awesome viewers like yourselves. And until next time, everyone, happy hunting.